Hello, Karen.
Hello, Jack, and how are you?
It's we're on video.
I know,
We're on. Laura's got us on YouTube.
I know it's quite daunting because people can actually see how we talk to each other and what we look like really day to day.
How we talk to each other. You mean I'm gonna have to behave?
Yeah, you've got to be nice to me now.
But we have been told we've got to do this intro. We're doing as we're told. That
We
doesn't
are.
happen very often. The two of us are doing as we're told. We're doing an intro for season 14.
I know it's great. It's exciting, and I think we're both looking forward to kind of moving the podcast more to video and doing a few more videos like this and getting our guests involved in video because people want to see who we're talking to and who we're talking about.
Said we're both getting excited.
I am. You're not.
That might be better. That might be better. So before we talk about season 14, let's talk about some of the content that Laura's already been able to share in our little on tour episodes.
I know. You know what? That was so exciting because I'd mentioned to you, hadn't I, that I thought we should do this because I think people listen to us at home, but actually it's good to get out with our sponsors in the area. So it could be north, south, east, west, wherever we're going, and for us to just meet more people and get more people involved in the podcast. So our first on tour was down in lovely Bedfordshire at the wonderful, shall we say now? Is it the right
We
time?
can say,
We can say it was at Boston Lakes Resort, which is a fabulous site, just incredible. So much there to see and do. So we had a great time down there.
yeah, the team looked after us so well, and the team that we took down, we obviously took a few of the team down for to do the recordings. Their comments as well was how lovely were the staff. That was before we even started talking about the venue. They talked about the staff. So if you get that bit right, the venue is a bonus. And what a bonus it was.
Yeah, it was good. It was lovely. I mean, because it's lots of separate buildings all linked together with this beautiful like lit walkway, and they've got the lake. So if you're into fitness, you can go for a run, and then they've got different venues and different spaces, and the restaurants are all lovely. So no, we had a really great time, and the guests that came down were really impressed with the facilities there. So it was wonderful. So thank you for being part of season 14, Wild Boston.
Yeah, and let's talk quickly about the guests. I know that the video content's already online, but we invited back previous guests, which I love because I always try and keep track of how our guests are doing and what they're up to. And the first group we had Luke and Craig,
Mhm.
both gone through a lot since we talked to them. And what's interesting, some of the guests were purposely trying to do it where they might not have direct links with each
Yeah.
other all the time. And Luke and Craig hadn't,
Mm.
and they got on like house on fire as well. It was great.
Yeah, it was interesting for us, wasn't it, to see the dynamics of putting people together and actually it made our conversations with them easy because they just bounced off each other and both of them had really interesting and powerful stories to tell. So actually we could just intersperse with little questions and just let them hold the floor, which is what we wanted it to be.
Yeah. And then following that, we had Ben, and Ben was back in the very, very first season of us even thinking about doing this podcast when me and Ellen chatted with him,
Mm.
and Nathan, and again that was we had some giggles. I did say to people, I posted online and I said we did take it seriously. The fact that everyone was getting caught laughing and giggling in the
Mm.
photos, I blame the photographer for that.
But I think we do have fun though when we talk to our guests, and hopefully that comes across on the podcast anyway. That we are fun and we're interesting people. We touch on serious subjects, but then actually we're all fun, interesting people. So we want to bring that out because it's not just about dark tales and stories. It's about the lighter side to life and just the stories people tell us are genuinely really funny. Some of it we can't share, but some of it's refreshing that people will actually share kind of comments and thoughts with us.
Yeah. So let's quickly touch on some of the other things that people may or may not have seen, and that's in the lead up to season 14. We obviously introduced Wyberston, who are going to be our core season sponsor. We've also got new shout out sponsor and a new quickfire sponsor. So do you want to introduce them as well?
Gosh, it's all go, isn't it? It's like it feels like it's a whirlwind. So as we've said, our season sponsor is lovely Wild Boston Lakes Resort. So thanks to those. Our shout out sponsor, we're working with NAWI. And obviously those that haven't heard of NAWI, they're a networking group focusing on women in the industry, and they do fantastic things. You would have seen them on LinkedIn, and they're very active out there, and they do kind of lots of networking things. And yeah, Kat, their chair is everywhere. So if you haven't connected with Kat, make sure you do. And then our lovely quickfire round sponsor is Sock and Buskin Marketing, and again, you would have seen Laura post. She's fantastic in what she does. She's very creative, very sparkly, and if you Google her and go on LinkedIn, she may have another podcast that she does, which is a little bit Disney. So definitely get looking at Laura. But no, we really appreciate all your help and support and sponsoring the podcast.
Yeah, and the other thing, just to say in terms of the shout outs this time, we've agreed, well, we requested and they've agreed, the people who are going to be shouting out about this coming season are all going to be linked with Nowie. Some of those individuals who we just think need to be shouted about a little bit more. Might not always get the headlines, might not always get talked about. So yeah, we're working with Nowie to identify some of those individuals and listen out for them. It may come as a surprise to them as well when we start talking about them.
Yeah, that's always the best bit, isn't it? And then we get lovely little messages saying, "Thank you so much for mentioning me," and I'm going to share it everywhere because I think it's almost lovely when it's a surprise for the person. They have
Yeah.
no idea that it's going to pop up on their feed. So yeah, I can't wait to see who we're going to be talking about.
So, without giving too much away for season 14, what can we say? I suppose we can say we've gone to the north, we've gone to the south, we've gone straight back into your homeland of the Midlands as well, and we've sprinkled a little bit of international flavour. I think would kind of sum up season 14.
I think so, yeah. And we're covering a lot of ground as well. Like I guess are wide ranging, definitely. It's been we've had some fantastic conversations and yeah, can't wait for you to hear them as well because the guests have all been brilliant.
Let's leave it at that. I think that's enough.
Yeah,
Let's see what people think, and as always, subscribe, give us some feedback, tell us who you want us to chat with in the future, and we'll try and facilitate that. Thanks so much.
thank you.